Good evening, friends. I'm Pooja Gandhi from Kirin Advisors. Welcome you all for the virtual IPO roadshow of Kaushalya Logistics Limited. Established in 2007, Kaushalya Logistics Limited is a diversified conglomerate with a focus on logistics, e-commerce, and commercial real estate. The company currently operates in 70 locations across 17 states, serving Dalmia Cement, Bharat Limited, and holding a diamond categorization on a major e-commerce platform. With its headquarters in New Delhi, the company has successfully expanded its service beyond logistics, venturing into commercial real estate and aiming for future growth in various segments. Joining us today, Mr. Uday Podar, Managing Director. Welcome, sir.
Good evening. Thank you for having me here.
Mr. Atul, CFO. Welcome, sir. Mr. Vinay Podar, CFO. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Mr. Rinav Mansita, Khanwala Securities Limited.
Good evening, everyone. Welcoming you all.
Mr. Sanket Sharma, Associate Director, Khanwala Securities Limited. Welcome, sir. Now I would like to request Mr. Uday Podar to give detailed presentation of the company. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Pooja, can you help me with the slides?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, this is just the second. So the company was established in 2007. In 2010, we ventured into cement logistics business, and today we are operating in three segments. Our primary segment is the logistics segment. 2 years back, we ventured into e-commerce, and lastly, we have ventured into commercial real estate, which basically means owning and renting out the properties, commercial properties. It was renamed Kaushalya Logistics Limited in 2023 itself. Currently, we are operating in 70 locations, which is, I think, increased a little bit now. For our primary customer is Dalmia Cement. Also, we are a diamond categorized seller on a major e-commerce platform. For e-commerce, we're operating in 17 states, and we are headquartered in New Delhi. We have now recently diversified into owning and renting out commercial real estate, which is leased out to all leading tenants of India. Um, Kaushalya Logistics is an integrated logistics and clearing forwarding service provider. We plan to expand into various other segments of logistics, as well as expand our other verticals. We have 15 odd years of experience. Our team size is over 150. We are operating in 70 plus locations. We have 18 properties. Uh, we are operating again pan India in 17 states, 70 plus locations, but 17 states. We're handling 2.5 lakh tons of cement every month. For the last financial year, our revenue was 624 crores, EBITDA was 13 crores 87 lakhs, profit after tax was 7 crores 7 lakhs. Uh, our return on equity was 36.5%, return on capital employed was 70.48%. I think if you can just, yeah. These are some of the awards and coverages that me personally, or the company or the group have got in various, renowned magazines or platforms. I'm also quite active in various industry associations and entrepreneurs organization. Then there is ASSOCHAM and PhD. Currently, I am on the board managing as a managing committee member of PhD. So I'm quite active in all of these industry bodies, where I have been on the board of some of these national bodies. I'm just explaining the board. That's me. I have a bachelor's of commerce from Delhi University. I've been working for 15 years. I have, like I told you, have been active in various industry bodies. I've been recognized by various magazines, including Forbes, has done an article on me. I have been given certain awards also by newspaper companies like Dainik Bhaskar. And I was also a speaker at the India UAE Economic Forum a couple of years back. The other directors, Mr. Ramgopal Chaudhary, non-executive, non-independent director. Holds a Bachelor of Science and Mechanical Engineering from BITS, Ranchi. He has 4 decades of experience in plant operations and allied business activities, business segments. Ms. Sunita Chamaria is a non-executive, non-independent director, approximately experience is 20 years. She's also a graduate from Delhi University. Started her career with Rajasthan Petrochemicals Limited. She's involved in various. She's on the board of 5 companies. It's not mentioned here, but she's on the board of 5 companies. She's been FICCI Flow president for Calcutta earlier. Ms. Uma Verma is an independent director. She is a company secretary. She's registered independent director in IICA and trained for POSH POSH committees. She holds a Bachelor's of Commerce from Jamia Millia Islamia and Masters of Commerce from Delhi University and a Bachelor of Laws. And 22 years of experience in secretarial and finance roles. Mr. Somani is a chartered accountant. He's also an independent director. He was a chartered accountant in 75, so he has more than 48 years of experience in the field of chartered accountancy. He has also acted as statutory auditor for many companies. Can we move ahead? So our company basically operates in 3 segments. Our primary segment is logistics. Number 2 is e-commerce, and lastly, commercial real estate. I think when we go ahead, we can explain more in detail. We can move ahead, right? So, Kaushalya Logistics is operating in C&F as a C&F agent for major cement companies. Our main client is Dalmia Cement. We work with them across 70 locations in 4 different states in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Bihar, and UP currently, and are expanding to other states as well with them currently. Uh, so we manage the end-to-end distribution network for them. After they dispatch the goods from their factory, everything is managed by us. So whether the material comes via road or via rail, we handle the material. Whether it's at rail point, so we handle the rail point, get the rake cleared, move the material to warehouse, then stock the material, do the last mile delivery to customers, do the entire documentation, billing, invoicing on their behalf, and entire process is managed end to end by us. That's our process. Another thing that we bring a lot of value in is the kind of data that we provide to our clients, MIS, which helps them take the right decision and bring efficiency in the overall by giving this end-to-end solution to us. What we have brought on the table is efficiency for the client, because if there are multiple agencies, there is a lot of inefficiency. Plus, this is a very unorganized sector as such. Cement logistics is a very unorganized sector. So we are one of the very few, if not the only, organized large player in this space, and that helps us in bringing efficiency. Plus, also cement has a shelf life. So by following best practices, we have been able to bring down a lot of losses for our clients. I think we can move ahead. These are some pictures of the warehouses managed by us. Generally, you will see operations in cement to be very dirty and not organized. We have been able to organize it to a great extent. Yeah. So we come to a second segment, which is the e-commerce segment. We are a diamond categorized seller with a major e-commerce platform. We manage the relationship with suppliers of major electronic goods and white goods. We are operating in 17 states, and we have agreements with authorized distributors, and we purchase the products from them on best price and best discounts. And the sales invoicing and accounting is outsourced in this business. The online platform handles the collection and compensates the company after the deducting charges and commission that the platform charges. That's our model. The company owns 18 shops in a commercial project, which have been leased out to leading tenants like Tata Star, Aditya Birla, Allen Solly Van Heusen, Pantaloon, your all leading tenants like Titan is also one of our tenants. So all leading national tenants are our brands are our tenants. So yeah, United Colors of Benetton, Starbucks, Louis Philippe, Mia Tanishq, Van Heusen, Body Shop, Parkos, US Polo, Arrow are both Arvind brands. So these are the properties that we own. These are the actual pictures of those properties. Yeah, so this is the segment-wise breakup for 21, 22, 23, and 24. 21, our main business was our logistics business, which is written as CNF over here. From 31, we grew to 37. Last year, we have closed at 52 crores. So you will see that 25 to 30% growth we have been giving in this segment as well. We foresee a good expansion coming future also, but because we cannot talk about future numbers right now, I will not take too much time on that. On the trading business, we started only in the last quarter of FY22, so it was only 21 crores. Last year, we had seen the number stabilize at 572, and this quarter, we are happy to announce that first quarter itself, we have literally done the number of last year. Then the third segment is your other income, which we have clubbed with the rental incomes also, which we have started. So from 1 crore 88 lakh, which was in 21, 23 it has 7 crore 46 lakh, and this quarter also is stabilized around the same number at 2 crore 16, which comes to around 8 crore annual. We can move ahead. So if you see, our revenues have grown from 33 crores to 63 to 632 crores last year. This year, first quarter itself is already 570 crores. Our EBITDA is 542, 832, 1387, and then first quarter is 14 crores. This is for first quarter. So, this is, if you analyze it, of course, it becomes much higher. Similarly, our PAT is given in that direction. Of course, I would like to answer the question here because some people might feel, why is the revenue jumping so high? So the main jump in revenue has happened because of two things. One, of course, logistics, we have been giving a 25-30% growth, but the main revenue growth has happened because of e-commerce growth, which has started only in 22 last quarter. 23 we have stabilized to a great extent, but again this year we are seeing good growth. So that is why the main jump in growth of revenue has happened because of that. However, our most profitable vertical is our logistics vertical. So the main profitability is coming in that. That's why the growth in, while there's an absolute growth in every year in profitability also, it's not matching with the growth of the overall revenue because the percentage of growth in that is very very high. I think we can go ahead. This is again the same sheet, which is that was a simplified graph. This is a more detailed graph of the same thing. So I think we can move ahead from this because it's the same. This we can discuss this. This is the return on net worth, 35 to 30 to 36 to 39. Return on capital employed from 60 to 65 to 70 to 78 in percentage terms. I think the Q4 numbers must have been annualized. And the debt to equity is again hovering around 2.5. Interest coverage ratio is around 3.2, 3.16. That's where we are. Current ratio is about 1.25, 1.29. DSCR is about between 2.15 and 2.17. Earnings per share, this Q1 142 is only for Q1. It's not annualized here. So if you annualize it, it becomes much higher. It becomes higher than your Q3 also if it is annualized. And the book value is also going up from 566 to 1432. So basically, if you see the numbers, we are growing in every vertical. All our numbers are improving every year, and we see good growth coming in all verticals going forward. I think we can go ahead. So we are a renowned name in cement logistics. Like I said, we are probably the only organized and the most organized player in the cement C&F industry, and we have a large existing network. And we have the advantage now we bring by going into those two other verticals is that our businesses are diversified across various segments. So the risks are de-risked. You are kind of de-risked because they are totally different verticals. And the reason of getting into commercial property was simply that only to de-risk and to have steady annual income or rental income from leading brands. That's why the investment in those properties was done. We have another major strength of ours is our knowledge of the business, the cement logistics business. We have a very, very strong knowledge. A lot of players have tried to enter cement logistics but have failed because the knowledge required to run a cement logistic business is totally different from other logistics. Our team, if you see, is mostly from cement industry background. They are not specifically from they're not from logistics background, but they are from cement background, which makes them understand the business very well and helps us serve our customers very well. We can move ahead. One second. Our focus is on large revenue clients and large players. That's always been our focus, and we provide integrated end-to-end solution. Continue to provide additional services to existing clients. We have identified we are in the advanced discussion with very many other large uh, uh, customers also. Obviously, I cannot name them until the contracts are closed, and our revenues from these verticals are going to start soon. We are also looking at tapping new verticals within logistics. We have already uh, uh, applied for certain schemes. I don't know if I'm allowed to speak on them, but uh, we
No
have
forward-looking statement, sir.
no power. Okay. Yeah, so the industries to be served will also be increased. Apart from cement, we are looking at more industries to service, and our plan is that we will invest in very low risk and high ROI commercial properties opportunistically whenever we get certain opportunities like this. If you can go ahead, please. So our strength is the asset light logistics business. You see a lot of other logistics companies you will see are very heavy on assets and they have large fleets. I'm very happy to inform you that we don't own fleets, and that's I think our strength that brings flexibility on the table for our clients. And we are not focused on running our own fleet. Our focus clearly is to give the best service to the client at the most cost efficient manner. What happens is mostly companies go in for investing into depreciating assets like fleet, due to which don't even give any additional ROI to the company. So we are very clear we don't want to invest in depreciating assets in logistics sector, uh, 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 which don't give any additional revenue to the client to us, revenue and margins. But there is something which is very strategic. We are happy to do it. Weakness, we are dependent on few customers, but they are all large customers. Of course, third-party service providers are there for all business. That is there. Opportunities, we are still, I would say, at a very nascent stage, and opportunity to grow is very very large in our business. And even with our existing clients, there is an opportunity to provide additional services. Also, there is scope to expand the property business. Competition from unorganized players. Frankly, our competition is only from unorganized. There is no organized player in our space, in the logistics space. And government policies, that threat which are working in India is always there. Although in our space, I would say it's lesser because we are not doing any government contracts. We are mostly working with private players. Ma'am, if you can move ahead. Rinerji, would you like to talk on this?
Sure. So speaking about the issue, we are coming out with a issue of 48 lakh 80,000 shares, out of which 33 lakh 80,000 are fresh issues, 15 lakhs are offer for sale. The price band is 71 to 75, coming to an issue size of 34.65 crore to 36.6 crores. And promoter and promoter group post issue will be holding around 73.65%, and public will be holding 26.34% stake. Anchor book opens on 20th of December. The issue opens for public on 29th of December on to 3rd of January 2024. Next.
This is on NSE Emerge.
Yeah.
These are the intermediaries. Khanwala is our, just go back. Yeah, Khanwala is our book running lead manager. Skyline is the RTA. Legal advisors are Zenith India lawyers. Bankers are ICICI. And statutory auditor of our company is KN Goodwood and Company, very old chartered accounting firm. Market maker and underwriter to the issues, making stock brokers. And our PR agency is Kirin
Yeah.
Advisors.
Thank you, sir, for giving the presentation. And sir, before starting Q&A, would you like to add on?
Yeah, I think I would just like to stress about to take 2 minutes and make everyone understand about what we do in the logistics space, that which is our main old core business. So, like I explained to you, once the material is dispatched from factories, we handle the entire end to end for our customers. And Basically, generally, what we do is done by very unorganized players. So, the company, suppose a client like any cement company, would have to engage with multiple small agencies, and training them, etc., is itself is a big task. Here, we are a fully organized setup which is managing their entire setup for them. So you can say we are like, in a way, in a sense, like a JLF with just facilities management, and handles takes care of everything for for a large building. So for a cement company distribution network, we are taking care of everything, all their headaches, whatever compliance they need to do on the ground, whatever documentation, whether it is dealing with railways, getting the rake cleared, last mile delivery of customers, dealing with warehouse owners. If there are any disputes, we manage those disputes. If there is any dispute with the customer, there's any issue with the insurance company, we handle everything on their behalf. It is a one-stop solution for a cement company for managing their entire distribution network. That's what we bring to the table, our knowledge of the entire business. So that is the difference that we bring in. That's why I say that we are experts in this space. We're not just a logistic company; we're an experts in this particular space. That's all I wanted to, I think, add over here.
Okay, thank you. So now we'll start with question and answer session. I request all the participants to please post your questions in the comment box. First question is from Mr. Prem Singhania. How scalable is your business model? How quickly can it accommodate future growth?
I think, Premji, the business is highly scalable. If I'm talking about the logistics business, this is a very, very highly scalable business. And the opportunity to replicate is very simple. The cement industry works in a very, very similar manner. It's not like one client is working in X manner, and one state they're working in different manner, different state they work in different manner. It is a very, very scalable business. Has to be replicated. And also, what is happening is currently the cement industry was very fragmented earlier. Now it is consolidating with very, very large corporates coming into this space. They all are looking at consolidating and working with select few good service providers, which earlier was not there. So once a large corporate comes, they don't want the headache. For them, the cost of 2% or 5% higher is okay, as long as the headaches are taken away and they can focus on their business. And that's what we bring on the table. We are able to bring, not only reduce their to in cost. So it's a very, very scalable business. I am talking currently only on cement logistics. This, of course, cement logistics is a business which can be scaled up into other verticals also. But in cement itself, we have a large room to grow right now.
Okay. Move on to next question from Bimal Gandhi. What factors influence the decision for company limited to go public at this particular time?
Sir, I think the need was, if you see our growth was very, very has been very rapid in the last 3 years. So we needed to raise capital to match the growth of our company, so that the speed of growth does not slow down going forward. And that was the reason why we went in for a public issue, to raise capital to be able to match the speed of our growth.
Okay. Next question from Anandi Mittal. What are our competitive advantages?
I think our main competitive advantages, is a very strong know-how of the cement industry. Number two is our team. A lot of our people who we have hired since 2010 remain with us. Majority of our team on ground, which is the lowest level, dealing with the customers and dealing with customers of our customers, remain with us since 12 years. They understand the business very, very well. Getting that kind of talent today and training them is nearly impossible. And that is our biggest strength, I would say. Of course, our knowledge of the particular space is very, very high, and our clients actually at multiple occasions call us for their strategy discussions on logistics, on how to plan their logistics, because of our good understanding of this space.
Okay. Move on to next question. From Bharti Agarwal, how is the working capital cycle?
So we have three different business verticals. If you see, we have been able to grow at a very rapid pace. If you see from 33 crores to 600 crores, but the working capital or the debt raised is very limited and is not matching with the growth that we have shown. So I would say we have been able to manage our working capital cycle quite effectively till now by but of course now that we are looking at in the next stage of growth, we also needed capital. That was the reason why we have gone in for this public issue. And in this logistics space, the working capital cycle is such that, of course, the small contractors, truck owners, or labor contractors that you employ need to be paid on a very fast basis because that's why you are able to get competitive rates from them. Companies, of course, have different billing cycles depending on this thing. But if you see our growth, it is much faster as compared to the working capital inflow. So we have been able to manage that very effectively.
Okay. Move on to next question.
Yeah.
From Rajesh Bhatia, what are the growth prospects for company in the logistics, e-commerce, and commercial real estate sectors?
I will, because of regulations, I will not be able to talk on numbers. But what I can tell you is all three segments are growing, but the main focus of the company remains logistics and e-commerce segment. The commercial real estate is an opportunistic thing that we do to basically bring some balance into the company where we have only invested where we have got good return from day one, and only there we have invested in commercial real estate where the return is very good from day one. Only there the investments have been made. But the focus of the company is not commercial real estate. The focus of the company is logistics and e-commerce. That's where our focus on growth is going to be. That is very opportunistic. The last one.
Okay. Next question is on Deepika Chadda. What are our capex plans for the next 3 years and funding arrangements?
Ma'am, our main capex. I don't know. Can we talk this forward looking? I don't know if I'm allowed to give these. Pranav am
Uh,
I allowed to
there's no,
So
you
we
cannot
cannot
speak
talk
about
on the
capex, but we have
numbers?
the overall business plan which you can speak of. The
Yeah. So
yes.
I think the
order
overall
vision what
business
we have.
plan remains basically to focus on the logistics space and on the e-commerce, where the kind of money that we need is mainly working capital requirement, right? So we have done some. We are doing some fundraising via equity, and if and when required, we will look at raising debt. Otherwise, this should be good enough for some time.
Okay. Move on to next question. Vimal Gandhi. How do you manage to successfully operate in diverse sectors such as logistics, e-commerce, and commercial real estate?
So our logistics space, if you see, is our old business which we've been running for 12, 13 years. It is a very organized business for us where the team is very set. It's a very set team and they know the business really well. So expanding in that business at the pace that we have been expanding, we are, is not at all a challenge with us. Also, like I said, the entire team from ground up to my level is literally the same for many years. So that business so growing that business is not challenging at all. E-commerce, we have been able to grow very fast. And how do we successfully manage? Of course, we have a diverse team, strong team. I would say, if you see our team, a lot of people from very large organizations with very good background have joined our organization, and that's how we have been able to manage them. The last vertical, commercial real estate, wherever we have invested, has been only in properties which are already rented. So there was not too much management required in that last vertical. In the first two verticals, of course, we have a very strong team. In the commercial real estate vertical, we have invested with the properties are already rented to leading tenants. So the
Okay.
returns are literally from upfront. You know, these are long leases.
Okay. Next question is from Nihar Shah. Why are the growth strategies going ahead? What kind of growth do you expect in top line in next 3 to 5 years? And are our EBITDA sustainable over next 3 to 5 years, or can it grow even
I,
further?
Neharji, I'll explain two things. One, I cannot give exact numbers, but like I said, our top line is likely to grow, and it will mainly grow in two verticals. Of course, e-commerce might grow at a faster pace for some time, but logistics will also grow. Those are the two verticals where our top line is going to grow. On a actual number basis, our EBITDA is definitely going to grow because our businesses are growing. So our EBITDA numbers are going to grow in the next 3 to 5 years, and we should see healthy jump in those numbers. Hanji,
So
Rinal.
just to add over here, let's understand from the industry perspective. Logistics is a growing area where the thrust by the government on infra projects is also growing. So demand for cement as a product is increasing day by day.
Right.
On the other hand, the second vertical, e-commerce, is also growing and picking up day by day. So if you are talking of these two sectors, as a sector, the growth is very robust. So if the sector is growing, the company is bound to grow along with the industry or better than the industry with the efficient performance that they have given over a period of time. So
Yeah.
that way, we see the continued growth coming through going in the coming future also.
Yes, yes, sir. If you see, e-commerce is only today out of the total retail pie, only 8 to 10%, not even that much. So there is a large growth opportunity to grow, and of course, like you said, infrastructure. There is a major push. Real estate as a sector has picked up, so cement sales are now at all-time highs, and next 5 to 10 years, it's likely to be even stronger.
Okay. Move on to next question from Isha. They say, what is your operating margin guidance for the next 2 years?
Ma'am, we are operating in three different segments. So the operating margins for all of them are likely to improve in each segment individually. And on an absolute number, we will, like I said, our EBITDA numbers will grow.
Okay. Next question is from Ananya Swaminathan. Who are our Marque's clients and how much do top 10 clients contribute to revenues?
Our marquee client for the logistics business is Dalmia Cement, and they contribute for the logistics business a substantial, very very substantial percentage. But as a percentage of our overall revenue, that's not even 10%. You know, so because of the e-commerce business, it is a very very diverse where we are selling B2C to various customers. There is no large customers in the e-commerce business. And the third vertical, which is our real estate vertical, our largest client would be Aditya Birla because they are our largest tenants in our property in our properties.
Okay.
Aditya Birla Group.
Okay. Next question is from Deepika Chatta. What is your revenue from the e-commerce platform in the first 6 months of FY24? How
Ma'am,
do you see it's snapping up?
Ma'am, I can only talk up to quarters, up to June quarter, because that's what is declared as per SEBI guidelines. It was 550 crores, if I'm to be exact. If I'm, one second, exact 550, and then yeah, I'll just check.
Is 555 CR.
550.
Okay.
We see it growing. We see it growing. That's all I can say right
Move on to next question
now. Yes, ma'am.
from Vidya. Can you elaborate on the company's plans for expansion into other subsegments of logistics and other verticals?
Yeah. So we are looking at expanding very dramatically in this space. One, we have already bid for certain Gati Shakti schemes which government has come out with, where because we are doing rake handling for our clients, we understand how to do the rake management and the railway siding business. So we have bid for certain government projects. They're not government projects; they are basically government allows you to operate particular uh, 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 woodsheds for 10, 15 years. So those are kind of projects we are looking at. Also for our existing client, we are looking at expanding our services because they have been asking us to expand services, but we have currently till now been focused on a particular kind of service. Now we are looking at expanding those services, and within cement, like I said, we are expanding additional services, plus looking at doing some certain Gati Shakti kind of schemes, and we are looking at expanding into for other clients as well. So this vertical in the next 6 to 12 months with logistics, you will see dramatic changes and the growth, hopefully.
Okay. Next question from Bimal Gandhi. Can you elaborate on the company's current operation presence, including the number of locations it operates in and the states it covers?
For the logistics space, we are currently operating in four states: Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Bihar, UP. We are likely to. We have already. We are starting operations in 2-3 more states in the next 2-3 months. In the e-commerce space, we are operating in 17 states, and the real estate we have properties in one particular state.
Okay. Move on to next question from Prem Singhania. How is our constructor agreement with cement manufacturers for transport of cement?
Ma'am, Premji, we are not doing only transportation of cement, like I explained. Transportation of cement is a very, I would say, frankly, a low margin business. We are doing the end to end management, and that's where we get a fee. And generally, these contracts are 1 year contracts, but renewed. Because we are deeply rooted and manage the entire ecosystem for them, it is very, very unlikely that these changes happen. But the nature of contracts are 1 year because the rates are decided on a yearly basis. Because there are multiple variables when a rate is decided for a particular location. What is the labor rate of that particular location? What is the last year's railway charges? This, that. On that basis, the yearly rates are decided.
Okay. Move on to next question from Gaurav Mehta. Hello, sir. What is the fleet size? Is it fully owned or contracted?
It is only contracted. We are not owning any fleets. We are efficiently, without deploying any capital in this space, managing and providing services to our client.
Okay. Move on to next question from Bharti Agarwal. What is our arrangement with warehousing services provided to our clients?
So, ma'am, our basic job, like I said, like in a facility management company, we manage the entire system for them. We don't generally lease the warehouse, but identification of warehouse is done by us. In most cases, the client takes the property on lease for long term and hands over the property to us for management. So we do the entire management, but the relationship management with the warehouse owner is also done by us. So we do everything on behalf of the client, but we don't generally do the warehousing for them. Specifically, sometimes they do ask us to do warehousing for them, then we do it.
Okay. Move on to next question from Ananya Swaminathan. What is your capacity to transport cement?
Ananya ji, this is we don't have a capacity to transport. We are operating in these 70 locations in these four states currently, where there is no capacity constraint because we are handling both rail and road. So there is no capacity constraint of any sort. The transportation from factory is done by the cement company, we don't own the fleet, so there is no constraint. If it is about what they can supply and what they can sell, we will handle that and manage that entire capacity. There is no constraint.
Okay. Move on to next question from Anandi Mittal. Is our logistic capacity fully utilized?
Yeah, I mean, like I explained to you earlier, the capacity is very variable. It is, I would say, it is well utilized. Our resources, I wouldn't call it logistic capacity. I'll say our resources. Our resources are well utilized, but they can be slightly better utilized in those locations. But right now, they are well utilized.
Okay. Move on to next question from Bimal Gandhi. How does company manage its logistic operations?
Yeah, so I'll just take 2 minutes. I'll explain to you what we do. Sorry. So we have an expertise in handling rail and road transportation of cement. We are operating, like I said, in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and now we are starting to see more states. We also do last mile delivery of goods. We are serving customers of our customers. So our main customer is cement company. Their customers, there are about 1,500 to 2,000 customers of those clients that we service, and we do the entire. Once they dispatch the goods, suppose they dispatch a full rake from their factory to a location. At that X location, we will manage to get that entire rake cleared, get it unloaded at the goods shed, move that material to the warehouse. Uh, that warehouse will be in our control. We will get it stacked in the warehouse management. Get the last mile delivery done to the customers of our client. Do the entire documentation, billing, and entire process, end to end process is managed by us. That is what our operations are, and we have various kinds of rates with the client for different services. Sometimes it is blended, sometimes it is different. So it's done like that.
Okay. Move on to next question from Ananya Swaminathan. Can you give breakup of revenue from logistics and commercial rent?
Yeah, I'll just give it to you. It was there in the presentation as well. So in the last year, I think our logistics operation has done about 51 crores. Atulji, just correct the exact number, 51, 52 crores. And yeah, it is last year is 52 crores. And our property and other income, we have clubbed it together, all other incomes, was about 7 crores.
Okay. Next question is from Rajesh Bhatia. What risk management strategies are in place to address potential challenges in the logistic and real estate industries?
So in the logistics space, I think our main thing is training and keeping resources. So I think our training department is very strong. Having resources means trained manpower is the main main challenge for us actually in expanding, because frankly, to tell you, getting resources, because a lot of our work is in rural areas also. So getting trained resources in rural areas, keeping them trained, finding people replacement for them, that is the only main challenge that we have in the logistics space. And that for that we have a training department, and we continuously keep doing various training activities for our employees and for prospects. And on the real estate industry front, we have acquired very, very prime properties which are leased out to leading tenants. And there is a very strong demand from other tenants, but of course our contracts are long-term contracts. But the properties are such so prime that there are already other tenants willing to take those properties with us.
Okay. Move on to next question from Amulya. Can you elaborate on company's pricing strategy in both logistics and e-commerce to maintain profitability and attract customers?
So in the logistics front, to explain to you, we are more expensive than competition, because, like I explained, our competition is very unfragmented and like very fragmented and very unorganized players. There are no organized players operating in our space, in the cement logistics space. So our costs are also higher because we have all trained manpower. We have cement industry senior professionals sitting on our company who are managing the show. So our cost cannot be compared to a local C&F in any small town. So, but the value that we bring to our customers, even though they might be paying a premium for our services, we make sure their overall cost of operating in that location is lower than their competition. So that's how we are able to bring value-added services to our clients. That even though they are paying a premium for our services, their costs are cheaper than their competition. Um, uh, what is the pricing strategy, sir? Ma'am, on e-commerce, it is a price. Pricing is very, very variable, and it's very, very dynamic, I would say, e-commerce pricing. So we have again a very strong team which works with the e-commerce platform very aggressively 24/7 on the right pricing, and that's why we have been able to grow so fast. If we were not quick on the pricing front, you will see our growth would not have been the kind of growth that we have shown in the last 2 years. It is
Okay.
just being dynamic. Yeah.
Move on to next question from Bimal Gandhi. What are the growth prospects for company in the logistics, e-commerce, and commercial real estate sectors?
Just give me 1 second. I'm having some water. Just
Yes, sir.
So, Bimalji, without going into exact numbers, because I'm bound by SEBI regulations not to disclose on that. But like I mentioned earlier, our growth focus is going to be on the logistics and e-commerce. Commercial real estate is only opportunistically if we get very good opportunity, which is giving us a good ROI, we will look at it. But the focus of the growth of the company is going to be on logistics and e-commerce.
Okay. Move on to next question from Ananya Swaminathan. How much do you plan to expand our cement transporting capacity in the coming times?
So the cement logistics, I would call it, not transporting. We are expanding very aggressively currently in this space. Already we have got some orders in our hand, new contracts, I would say. And by the time we roll that out, of course, it will take 3, 4, 5 months. Plus, we are in negotiation with some very large clients, very, very large cement companies. and we are quite confident, of course, God willing, to be able to make this breakthrough.
Okay. Move on to next question. Gaurav Mehta, how many warehouses do you own?
Gauravji, we don't own any warehouse. It is an asset-light model where we are engaging third-party warehouses and managing the services. We manage the warehouse. We manage the entire end-to-end logistics.
Okay. Move on to next question from Rajesh Bhatia. How does the company differentiate itself from competitors in the logistic and commercial real estate space?
So in the logistics space, we are experts in the cement logistics space. That has been our focus all through. And how we differentiate is that we have people and expertise of cement logistics, which other competition doesn't have. We are only competing with unorganized players. The other organized players, whenever have tried to enter the space that we are in, have not been successful because of the lack of knowledge of this particular space. So that is this is how we differentiate. And the number two is, of course, our talent, which understands the business not only at the top level, but even at the lowest level, because they have been with the company for 12, 13, 15 years. And they understand the operations at the lowest level. Uh, and even to till me, the promoter, everyone is aligned on cement logistics and how to operate. On the commercial real estate, I think the how do we differentiate is the quality of asset that we own. It is a very strategic prime properties that we have bought, and we have leased out to leading tenants. So I think the differentiation is the quality of asset that we have bought, which is like in a ground floor prime location shops. Um,
Okay. Next question from Vidya. How does company plan to enhance its working capital position and support its growth initiatives through the funds raised from the IPO?
So Vidyaji, if you see till now, we have been able to manage, even though our growth has been quite exponential, we have been able to manage our working capital quite effectively. So we have not raised too much money in the last 2, 3 years if you compare it with the kind of growth that we have had. So that is why now to sustain that growth and to probably take it to the next level, we are going in for this IPO so that we can grow all our verticals and take it to the next level. So that's what it is. The idea is to raise this money to support our growth and keep it on track and take it higher.
Okay. Move on to next question from Vignesh Ahuja. Can you share insights into the company's growth strategy over past few years and how the IPO fits into the broader long strategy?
So in FY21, our revenues were 33 crores total revenue, out of which logistics was 31 crores and your property and other income were about 2 crores. In 22, our total revenues became 63 crores, where our logistics rose from 31 to 37 crores. Our our e-commerce trading business went to 22 crores. I'm giving rounded off numbers, and our property and other income went to 4 crores. In 23, the total revenue has jumped to 632 crores, where our logistics has jumped from 37 to 52 crores, and our e-commerce trading business has gone from 21, 22 crores to 572 crores. That, of course, the jump was because in the previous year it was only operating for 1 quarter, and here we have operated the full year. And our property and other all other income, including property, has been about 7.5 crores. How the long-term strategy is going to be focused towards our e-commerce trading and our logistics businesses, and that's where the long-term strategy of growth, if you're talking, our revenue growth is going to come from that, and that's where the focus of the growth company is going to be.
Okay.
We want those segments to be our main pillars. Okay.
Okay. Next question is from Anandi Mittal. How do you plan to maintain and strengthen the presence in the logistics sector, particularly in the contest of expansion into other subsegments?
So, ma'am, our focus till now has only been cement logistics. We are, of course, not losing that focus. We are expanding in two manners in logistics. One, for our existing clients and for other cement industry clients whom we are now in advanced discussion with, we plan to provide the services that we provide, plus provide additional services that they need in logistics, which till now we were not providing. Number two is expansion in with segments outside of cement. where again there is a large opportunity because which is related. We are also not expanding very ad hoc manner. We are expanding in a relatable manner. So suppose we are managing good sheds for our clients. Now the same good shed is carrying other kind of products also. So we are knowing how to operate those particular good sheds and those railway points. So that expertise or knowledge that we have gained over years to manage the good shed and to manage the railways, we will use to manage different kinds of customers and different kinds of products. So we are, even if we are growing to different segments, we are not going totally ad hoc and to totally something totally different. Similarly, if we are also planning to enter, we have plans to enter the e-commerce logistics space. Now, because we ourselves have such good expertise in running e-commerce business in the same company, that gives us a lot of knowledge in that business. So that is you will say help us in expanding to these different verticals.
Okay. Move on to the next question from Ananya Swaminathan. Any new client additions in the current year?
And there is, of course, for our existing clients, we've got a very large client contract, very, very large contract. And there are two very, very large contracts with two new clients, which has not been finalized, but are at very advanced discussion. I cannot disclose, of course, until the contracts are finalized. And what that's what it is.
I think so on an ongoing basis, any company in every business will try to bid for new contracts and new
Yeah, yeah,
clients. That is
yeah,
what our company is also going to do.
yeah.
And as and when we get more contracts or orders, the information will be disseminated with investors at large.
Okay. Move on to next question from Prem Singhania. Could you shed light on the specific projects or initiatives in commercial real estate the company is currently undertaking or planning to undertake?
So mainly we are basically into logistics and e-commerce, and our real estate vertical is more opportunistic, where we acquire properties which are very, very prime location, and we are getting a good ROI on them. So that the idea is to stabilize and get good steady rental income for the company. So there is no specific project that the company is currently undertaking except for the properties that we currently own. As and when any really good opportunity arises, we will look at acquisition.
Move on to next question. I'm Deepika Chadha. How does company plan to address potential disputes in the supply chain, especially considering the impact of global events on logistics and e-commerce?
So the biggest disruption we saw was COVID 2 years back. But cement is a very local business in the sense of the second highest cost in a cement industry is logistics cost. So cement cannot be transported from one country to another, or it can't be transported even from Bombay to Delhi. It does not make economic sense for the cement industry or the company to transport cement to such large distances. Hence, cement remains a very local business, so it does not get really disrupted because of international supply chains being affected. So you will hardly see any import of cement. Only many years back you used to hear some little bit of cement import from Pakistan. Otherwise, you never hear of import of cement. It is all locally produced and mostly sold within 500, 600 kilometers radius at most. So international supply chain disruptions don't affect our main business. And in terms of e-commerce, I think e-commerce is such a nascent stage currently. I think the opportunity is only to grow. Today, e-commerce is only at 8 to 10%. If you see China and America, they are at a much more advanced level of total part of the overall retail space. So I don't see any challenges in the next 8 to 10 years in these two segments, because they are still have a huge room to grow, in fact, rather than chances of disruption.
Okay. Move on to the next question from Niket Mehta. Can you elaborate a bit more on the revenue jump and how e-commerce helped you achieve that growth?
So Niketi, while we have shown good growth in our logistics business as well, if you see 25-30% growth has been happening over the last few many years. But of course, the exponential growth has happened in e-commerce segment, and also to add to that, if you see, the numbers look very twisted, because in 21 in 20 in 22 FY22, I mean, it was only for one quarter, and the first quarter of starting that business. So we were also testing waters. And in the FY23 it was a full year business, so that's why the numbers have jumped dramatically. And we are still growing at a very fast pace in that e-commerce business. And I think there is a good room to further grow in that business. uh, the logistics automatically will grow. But logistics are much more stable, high margin, and long-term contracts. So they take a little bit longer to materialize the contracts, and the pace cannot be the same as e-commerce. But of course, yes, e-commerce has helped us in the revenue.
Okay, move on to next question. I'm Nishant Sharma. Apart from Dalmia Bharat, who else are major customers in the CNF business? What are the products that we are selling on e-commerce? Which all online platforms we are on board?
So apart from Dalmia, we have worked with Ultratech in the past. We have worked with Wonder Cement, JK Cement in the past. And even currently we are engaged with some of them and even other clients. I can't name them. What are the products that we are selling on e-commerce is all electronic goods except for mobile phone. So your laptop, TV, washing machine, hair dryer, आप सारे electronic goods mostly हम sell कर रहे हैं. And unfortunately, because of our contract nature with the e-commerce platform, we are not allowed to name the name of the e-commerce platform. That's because of contractual obligation. So I am not able to disclose that.
Okay. Move on to next question. Ananya Swaminathan. What are the key performance indicators that Kaushalya Logistics forces on to measure the success and efficiency of its logistics and e-commerce operations?
So Anandji, I think we focus on two things. One is in any vertical we focus on profitability. So if you see, we are focused on profitability, and number two, we focus on customers' experience. These are the two things we always want to focus on. So even in our logistics business, what we do is not only we check our managers who are handling various parts of the business. Their reviews are done not only on the basis of what profitability and business they bring to the company, but also on how they dealt with the customer and what the customer thinks about them and the company in that area that they are managing. And that is a very important part of our entire ecosystem and I would say values. So we get our services rated from the customers of our clients. So the 1500 to 2000 customers which we handle for our clients, we ask them to rate our services on a monthly basis. And that is a very important mechanism in which we work, because that because if we are only focused on profitability, if the client is not too happy, then at some point there will be disruption in the relationship. So we always take both of them together, that profitability has to be there at the same time. The customer has to be satisfied with your services. At parallelly, it can't only be focused only on the customer being happy and you being not profitable. So both of them, we take them hand in hand, and that's how we work in all our segments.
Okay. Move on to next question.
Yeah.
From Deepika Chadda. How does the company plan to maintain a balance between cost optimization and service quality in its logistics and clearing and forwarding services?
So I'll tell you typically how it works is, we don't want to sacrifice on the quality of resources that we hire, which is the main ingredient of ours, which is our resources, our manpower. So we hire good talent, we train them well, and we take care of them very well. What we bring to the table with the customers is, because of our talent, they pay us a premium, but at the same time, we see that we manage their operations very efficiently, so that their cost doesn't go up. So, like I explained to you earlier, even in the areas that we are operating for our clients, we might be charging a premium over our competition, but our client may remain most cost competitive to their competition. That's our motto. That even though our charges are higher, but the eventual overall cost, because the cost to the company, to the client, is not just our cost, but related to many other things, depending on how efficiently we manage it. So we make sure that we manage the overall operation very efficiently, so that the cost to them is low, but we don't compromise, one, on our talent, and number two, we don't compromise on our rates, because we are giving them the best quality talent to manage their business.
Okay. Move on to next question from Aman. What is the percentage increase in the tonnage of cement transportation from the current client compared to the last quarter?
So I cannot talk of current quarter because of SEBI regulations. I think we have declared only till June quarter. All I can tell you is in cement industry, the last quarter is the most important quarter where substantial volumes are done. So December to March is always has historically been the best quarter for us and for the cement company because our numbers are dependent on the volume that we handle and dependent on what we sell. And I can talk about the previous year from 22, where we had done a revenue of 37 crores in the cement logistics space. We went to 52, so it's about a 25 to 30% jump.
Okay. Next question from Nishant Sharma. What was the thought process or strategy to enter into e-commerce business and commercial real estate business? Electronics goods sold on online platforms are of own brands or third-party brands.
So the idea was to basically de-risk and to have multiple streams of revenue for the company to de-risk the company going forward. That was the basic idea. And if you see, that is the reason why we went into e-commerce, which gave us very high volume and high revenue. We went into commercial real estate for stability, which gave the company good assets, good quality assets. Number one. Number two, it gave them good steady monthly rental income. And so these during any kind of turbulence going forward, these three different segments are totally different and will help the company sustain in all times to come. Electronic goods sold online are not of our brands, are all first party brands, all leading brands which are sold in India. We are dealing in mostly all leading brands.
Okay. Next question from Anandi Mittal. Thank you and all the best for the IPO.
Thank you. Thank
Uh,
you.
I think we have covered majority of questions. Now we close. Thank you, Udavji, Atulji,
Thank you
Rinavji,
for
Vijay.
thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you for all the questions. And thank you
Yeah,
Pooja ji. Thank you Rinav ji. Thank you Sanjay ji.
yeah. Thank you for giving insights about the company and IPO to the investors community. And thank you all the participants who participated for the IPO roadshow. Thank you once again.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everybody. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
in.